Hey everyone, this is Jimmy here, and today we're going to go over how to build your very own piston elevator from scratch. So at the end, you'll have something that looks just like this. Throughout this tutorial, I'm going to make fairly heavy use of two mods. One, single player commands to allow me to fly, and two, too many items, so it's easy for me to get what I need. To start off, we're going to build a shaft to take us 11 blocks above ground level. For this, we'll need whatever we want pushing us. I'll use the pink wool here. Some sticky pistons, some stairs, wood or stone will do, and then whatever you're going to put your redstone track on eventually. To start off, we're going to place a stair facing inward, leave a space empty, and then put a pink block, and then a piston facing inward. So what's going to happen is this pink block is going to push us up the stairs when activated and raise us up one level. From here we're going to go over 2 blocks and then start placing our pistons facing inwards. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and this is where we'll stop for this demo. You're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Right on top of this piston, go up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you'll have something that looks like this. 2 columns of pistons with 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces in between them. From here we're going to alternate wool and stairs on each side to push us up and then give us something to walk on with each step. So if you have wool, you're going to go stairs, wool, stairs, wool, and so on up this side, and then do the same sort of alternating on this side. After we have the inside of the shaft filled up like so, we're going to put these little extensions across on the back of each of these pink blocks. So we're going to come out 2, 2, 2 on both sides. So each pink block piston should have a thing of 2 coming off the back. Once you have something that looks like this, you'll be ready to move on to stage 2, which is setting up the vertical redstone columns. For this stage, you're going to need 5 new items. You need some redstone, some repeaters, a button, whatever you want to make the redstone track out of, and then whatever you want to put the button on. To start off, we're going to come over here, leave a gap right here, and make a stack of 2, and put 1 on each side. The button for the activate our elevator will go right here, right across face level, and then put a little spacer right here. That way you have something neat to walk into and make sure you're in line when you push the button. With your redstone, you're going to come off this block and then extend over to each side. And then starting around here, we're going to build our towers going upwards. While building the tower, you'll probably need a pick to help you make the spiral staircase pattern. To start, make sure you're 1 block away from where this thing ends, and then we'll start by going 1, 2, 3, come over 2, come over 1, and then start making your spiral staircase going upwards, like so. And then once you go up 3, it'll be time to start this pattern over again. So you'll have what looks like a bunch of these stacked on top of each other. I'll complete this one and then we'll come back. When you're done with your staircase, you'll have something that looks just like this, and stops right at level 11, just like the shaft of the elevator. Go around it a couple times so you guys can get a better look. But it's just repeating that same pattern we did right in the beginning over and over. We're going to mirror the same design on the other side, building from right here over 3, and then just pretty much just doing a mirror effect on what we already have over there. And I'll come back once I've completed this one. When you're done with the spiral shaft on the left hand side of the entryway, it should look just like this. Now that we have shafts going all the way up, we can start laying our repeaters in redstone. For this design, you're going to want to put a repeater right in the very center of this long edge, facing forward on this side, because the current's going to come around like this, and then do the same thing on the other side. After we do that, fill the rest of the tracks with redstone. And just go all the way down and connect up with the button. I'll come back once I've done that on both sides. Once you have both sides properly filled up with redstone, you should have a wire going all the way up each spiral, so that when you push the button down here, power goes all the way to the top on both sides. Now that we have the two tower shafts constructed, we can start thinking about the timing required to get this thing to work right. So on the button press, we want this one to go first, and then this one, and then this one, and so on all the way up the shaft, one after the other. To try to make this easier to understand, I'm going to go ahead and label each one with the delay that I want it to go off at. So for this first one, it'll be 0, and then we go up here, and this one will be after 1 tick delay, and then this one will be 2. So it'll be odd number or even numbers every other one up there, and then odd numbers even all the way up here, and I'll come back after I've completed that. Right now, if you feel like doing this step, you should have something that looks like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way to 10 at the top here. Now remember, when we built these spirals, we put these repeaters every time, and these will add a delay into our system that we need to take into account as well. So we should go ahead and label 1 here so that we know everything that comes after here will have a 1 delay, 2 here since they're in series, 3 and 4. Go ahead and put those on each side and then come back. So now my power columns look like this on the side: 1, 2, 3, 4, and again, this represents that any wire that comes after this will have 1 delay, this one will have 2 delay by default, and 3, and then 4. So now that we have that, it's time to start slowly and carefully hooking things up. So starting at 0, we don't need any delay built in, so we can just come over straight into it. That way when we push the button, these two will go right away. From there, we come on over to number 1. We see that the 1 is already built into this loop right here, so we can just bridge it straight across, like so. Now over to number 2. We see we have the 1 built in, so we need an extra once we come in, so we can just go ahead and put a delay, 1 tick delay right there, and then connect it up. That gives us 1 and then 2. So now we push this button, 1, 2, 3, really quick. And that's exactly what we want. Now we'll continue this. You can either go all the way up one side or alternate every time and then just test it every time, just if you're really paranoid about it working. But I'm going to go ahead and take care of that and then come back to you. So now I've completed the even side. As you can see here, we need 10. So we got the 4 ticks of delay from this column, and then we add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to get 10. And so on down the line. We need 8 here. We've got the 3 from this one built in, so we need 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then so on down the line. I'll do that on the odd side and then I'll come back. Alright, I've taken care of the odd side, and now you can see for 9 we have the 4 from the columns, and then an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. For 7 we got 3 plus 4, and so on down the line. The thing to keep in mind is that when you just put one down, that's 1. Right click, that's 2, 3, and then 4. So you can do 4 with each one, and when you need to do more than that, just put them on a line. Now, it is possible to simplify things by taking a look at the delay you need up here and making these delays higher. That way you can get rid of diodes, but I'm not going to cover that. It's a little too complicated for basic understanding when you're just getting into it, so I'll leave that to you guys to mess around with on your own time. So now, check your work, do one last flyover to make sure you didn't accidentally cut off any redstone lines, and then it'll be time to test everything out. If you followed all the signs and just went through really carefully, you should be able to just come right in and it'll take you right up to the top. If you're not flying, you'll probably just fall down right here and get hurt, but so be careful. Now that we got the timing of our elevator portion all worked out, it's going to be time to take a look at the ejector piston so that we can safely get off at the top and don't just drop straight down. So you come up to the top of your elevator, you see this is the last one that pushes, so you're going to be pushed onto this while it's extended, so you'll end up right here. We'll place a block just as a placeholder so we know where to line up our pistons. Again, at the top of the elevator, this is where you'll be standing. From here, we're going to actually build on the ejector piston portion, so we'll come out too, have our sticky piston facing inward, and then our little pink fluffy cloud to push us. When this goes off, we'll end up right here, so we'll make a little platform for us to land on. Now to power this piston, we're just going to tap into this line over here. So come straight over. And make sure you note the timing. This last one's going to go off at 10, so you want this to go off at 11 after it's already done. So when you're building your redstone over, the last two should be repeaters again. And since we want this to be 11, and this is a 4, we just add 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, and 7. And now we should have a fully working ejector piston. Let's test it out, shall we? I'll come down here and turn off flying. This way there's a penalty if I'm wrong. Now we should be able to just walk in, push the button, and it's safe to be ejected out here. I didn't tell you guys, but I built a little diving pool so it's safe for me up there, but if you're just following right along and doing exactly what I say, you'll be screwed and you'll have to jump to and take damage. So that concludes our 11 level piston elevator tutorial. It's certainly not the most efficient design, but it's the one that I felt was the simplest for a beginner to understand, with all the timings and stuff easy to see and things like that. If you want a more cleaner and more efficient build, go ahead and check out the forum posts that I'm going to link down in the description. Some of those guys there have really cleaned it up, and I'll also put my world up for download so you can go through each step one at a time. If you come up with any better ideas, you have a really good understanding of redstone, go ahead and go over to the forum post to make sure your idea is not already taken, and then go ahead and add it. It would be nice to see a lot cleaner versions. The current record is a guy named Entity who made this nice little 6x3 elevator. I'll go over there and show you that. This is definitely my favorite one up right now. It's got this little underground portion. You don't even need to push a button. You just walk right on and it bears you straight up. And it's so much smaller and cleaner. It's just a little bit harder to understand, I think, if you're a beginner, because of this nice neat wiring. So congratulations to him for coming up with such a nice design. I'll link a tutorial that he made to make this design down in the descriptions. Definitely check it out if you're interested in mine. I'm sure you like this one a lot better. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Take care.